In this video, I'm going to show you how I'm using the right clippers in my mixdowns in a simple but very effective way. This is my favorite clipper, and I'm using this clipper a lot recently in my mixdowns. The name is KClip 3, and it is very CPU friendly, and it has a very transparent sound, which we are looking for in a clipper. So right now, let me play the main clap in this project. Look at the waveform of this clap. Now I turn this clipper off. Look at all these nasty peaks that my main clap in the drop has. This is awful for my mastering limiter. So I turn this clipper on, and without doing any major changes to the clap, I reduce the peaks for 12 dB. This is a lot, and this is very useful in the mastering stage and for the clarity of your transient in the mixdown. And working with this clipper is very easy. First you have to turn this link button on, and then you have the input knob and the output knob. And when I increase the input, the output is reduced automatically. So let's clip my main clap in the drop. I want to reduce all these nasty peaks. Around here is sounding perfect, and usually I increase the input until I hear a change in the punch or in the transient of the clap, and then I will pull back a little bit to retain the natural sound of the clap, but to get all those nasty peaks. Let's see how much we are clipping the clap right now with this new setting. Yes, around 12 dB of reduction, without doing any major changes to the clap. And this is magic, you guys. Now let's get to our mastering limiter and see what's going on. Guys, I have made this shortcut in my Ableton. When I press C, for example, look at this clipper right here. When I press C, it turns off all the clippers in this project. So guys, let's look at our limiter in the drop, and I will tell you what happens if you don't use clippers. You see guys, we have -3.5, -3 dB of reduction in the last limiter. Now I press C on my keyboard and I turn off all the clippers in this project and see what happens to this limiter and all the transients in this mixdown. All the clippers are now turned off. -6 dB, -7 dB of reduction in my last limiter, and this is terrible. Look at all the transients, they are squashed, and the punch is gone. And guys, again, as in all my other tutorials, this is a subtle change, but very important if you are looking for a professional sound in your mixdown. If you have found this video useful so far, please consider liking and subscribing, and of course this gives me a lot of motivation to make more of this stuff. And also hit the notification bell for all the future updates. Thank you, friends. So guys, let's get to other clippers. And this is very easy, guys. I use clippers on my main sounds. For example, on the main clap in my top drums, let's look at the top drums right here. Here is the clipper. I am clipping them around -12 dB. This is a lot, and this is helping the mastering limiter a lot. I turn this off. Look at the waveform of the top drums. Terrible. Look at all these nasty peaks. This is terrible. I turn on the clipper. You see, everything is even without doing any major changes to the sound, and this is amazing. And I have increased the input knob for these top drums on the group for 13 dBs, and this is working amazing. So I have used it on my main clap, on my top drums, next in my basses, because my basses have attack and transients, so I thought why not using it on the main basses. Let's take a listen to the solo of the basses. Everything is looking great right here without any nasty peaks. I turn off this clipper. This is terrible, guys. You have to be very careful with these nasty picks. I turn it on. That's what I'm looking for in a perfect waveform. And that's it, guys. That's how I'm using clippers in my projects and in my mixdowns. And just one important last point in this project is that in the master, instead of using the KClip 3, I'm using a StandardCLIP because it has a very nice visual indicator right here. And it shows you how you are clipping the sounds by turning them into red colors. Take a look at here, guys. I'm clipping the master just a tiny bit. For -3.5 dBs. And these peaks right here that are turned into red are clipped very nicely in the hard clip mode right here. And I'm using this StandardCLIP just for the visual indicator that it is giving to me, because I just want to clip the master a little bit before sending it to the last limiter. I turn the last clipper off, but all the other clippers are on in the mixdown. -4 dB, I turn this clipper on. -3.5, -3.5. And this is what we are looking for, and this is how I'm using clippers in my mixdowns. And guys, the goal in the mastering limiter is to put the least amount of pressure on the limiter, because it has to just be triggered by the kick and clap and the main sounds. If you don't use clippers in your mixdowns, you will lose the transients, you will lose the punch, and of course you will lose the power of your last limiter in the mastering stage. And this is how I get the pro sounding in a very simple way with the help of the magic clippers. I love them very much. And guys, don't forget, use it on your main clap, on your top drums, and everything that has transients. This has to be your guideline, and of course use it on other elements of your song and see what kind of changes and what kind of benefits it has on them. Thanks for watching, friends. If you have any questions about the tips that we talked about today, just ask me in the comments, and I love you so much. Bye.